Good evening, YouTube. I haven't done a video like this for a while now. I have just been busy, unfortunately. But today's video is about my worst MS symptom, and that is pain, as well as everything else that I live with. Fatigue, which luckily is mild, as well as confusion, sometimes dizziness, sometimes balance, sometimes weakness. There are others. Sometimes numbness. Tingling I live with every day. That's primarily in the lower half of my body, thanks to a relapse that had me numb from the waist down. I now suffer with tingling and neuropathy on a very regular basis, daily basis. My biggest symptom is pain, which I've been in constant pain now for about a year and a half, and that pain is caused by spasticity. Any doctor that tells you, or anyone actually that tells you that MS, you don't get pain from MS, you need to see a new doctor, because they do not know the mechanisms of MS at all. How MS boils down is damaged nerves. They transmit signals between your muscles, your organs, and your brain. Damaged nerves cannot transmit those signals successfully. When you stub your toe, that muscle in your foot transmits to your brain to say that you are in pain. Damaged nerves, they do not transmit the right signals all the time. That's where my tingling comes from, that's where my paresthesia comes from, that's where my neuropathy comes from, which is also pain. But my spasticity, that is the worst symptom for me, the absolute worst, because I get it constantly. Even now, you can look at me and you don't realise that I am in pain. And I am. That pain is, I can feel it in my shoulders. I can feel it at the base of my spine. Constant spasming, vibrating. And on my front as well, in my lower abdomen. Spasming there too, over and over, throughout the entire day. And as that day goes on, my muscles work harder and harder. It causes sweat, it causes ache. If you imagine yourself doing 100 sit-ups in quick succession, that's an indication of the kind of pain that it creates. But I'm doing these sit-ups all day, every day. So I'm in pain every single day. I'm amazed I can sleep. I'm thankful that I can sleep. My fatigue is not bad. Not yet, anyway. That's the joy of MS. You've got all this to look forward to. Because your disease will not get better. It will get worse over the years. It's one of those nasty progressive diseases like lupus, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, that it just gets worse over time. You can get treatment that works for you. Yay for you if you do. Just please bear in mind that the treatment that works for you will not necessarily work for everyone. So, yay for you. But these are snowflake diseases for a reason. I've tried various diets. GAPS, WALS, gluten-free, dairy-free, raw. I have tried them over several months each time. Not a single bonus. So I just carry on, and I hurt every day, every single day. I used to cry about it every day, but I'm at the stage now where crying gets me nowhere. There's nothing to achieve or gain from crying, so I have stopped crying now. I just carry on despite the pain. Do what I can with the pain that I live with every day. Sometimes I can do more things than other days, but every single activity that I do, everything, I am in pain, and it doesn't go. And I hate the fact that I am in pain all the time. There are death row inmates that don't have this pain. And yet there are people who are trying to hold down jobs, trying to be parents, trying to pay taxes, but they are having to live in pain 24/7. In what part of the world is that right? Is that fair? In what part of the world? Because it's not fair. We only ask for pain pills to make our life tolerable. What we actually want is for that reason for pain to go away. And we spend our lives with a chronic, progressive, incurable disease, which has already done a fair bit of damage to me in the last few years. Even though I've had symptoms since I was a child, the disease only actually reared its ugly head in September of 2013. So I've only had this disease active for 2 years, but in that time, my nerves have been damaged, my brain has been damaged, and I'm now living with pain all the time because my muscles are constantly working. Even right now, I can feel them moving, and nothing makes it go away. So in what world is that fair? Is that right? We are meant to be living in a world of advancements, and yet there's still a lot that we are behind on. And diseases like this, they just grow in number. They grow in disability. They grow in benefit costs because there are people who are unable to work because of their illness. So all these celebrities that you see with smiles, tales of how their diet's working for them, how they're hiking up mountains, how they're cycling miles after miles after miles. They are more positive because of the team that they have with them. The neurologists, the nurses, the various doctors. These celebrities can afford this. They have that available. We don't have those kind of teams available. We have to pay for our own healthcare ourselves a lot of the time, or deal with limited resources, limited doctors, and limited knowledge. The population of just only MS, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, and fibromyalgia, that's over 10 million people. If you factor in things like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, diabetes, the various autoimmune diseases, that's hundreds of millions, going into the billions. All because our body is attacking ourselves, rendering us useless, chronic shells of what we want to be. I am not the person that I was when I married my husband in September 2013. I am not her. But I want to be her again. And I strive, I push, I tolerate everything this disease is throwing at me for his sake. For the sake of the children that I want to have with him, I tolerate this. I push myself, despite the chronic pain that I am in every day. I push myself because I have to. I have limits, yes. Everybody with an autoimmune disease has limits. But often we have to ignore those limits for the sake of other things. In what world is that right? What world is that acceptable? There's a reason why suicide with autoimmune disease is so high. Because we tolerate as much as we can until we can't tolerate it anymore. We just want it to go. And that is the only way. Because what we have, and I know life isn't curable anyway, but what we have are the autoimmune warriors is progressive and incurable. And mankind is just allowing it to stay that way. And complaining because the drain of resources that is happening because disabled people have to claim benefits. That's the state of the world right now. So I can pretend to smile. Someone asks me how I am, I can lie and say, I'm fine, I'm good, how are you? But words mean nothing when it comes to chronic illness. A smile can mean nothing when it comes to chronic illness. Because it is easy to pretend. We are all Oscar-winning actresses and actors. Because we do it for the sake of other people. When we just want to get better and witness some positive change in the world. That's all we want. That's all we hope for. That's what we stay alive for and fight on every day.